This is not about hating people. This is about seeing the pattern. When the system tells you machines are coming for your future, and in the same breath keeps flooding the labor market with desperation, you better stop and ask who benefits. Because when workers fight workers, the puppeteers sleep easy. But when the people see the setup, the spell starts breaking. They build it in the background, quiet and slow, while the headlines flash, but the real ones don't show. AI on the table, cheap labor in the flow. Same old game with a new techno glow. Built in the background, piece by piece. Jobs get weaker while the rich man increase. Don't blame the struggler, don't let your heart drown. See who rigs the system when the wages fall down. They say the future coming, and the future is AI. Half the job shifting and they're looking in your eye, telling every young youth better run before it's late, while they're changing all the rules and tightening the gate. Degrees in the hand, but the ground starts shaking. Whole industries wobbling while the machines are waking. So if the work is shrinking, tell me why they still expand. A labor pool so wide that the worker can't stand. More pressure on the people, less value on the skill. More fear in the household, more silence in the will. And then they are confused when a nation starts to break, but a hungry generation know exactly what's at stake. No, this is not random, no, this is not fate. When labor gets cheaper while the profits elevate. And if you really love a people, you protect their bread. You don't flood the field while the future turns. They build it in the background, quiet and slow, while the headlines flash, but the real ones don't show. AI on the table, cheap labor in the flow. Same old game with a new techno glow. Built in the background, piece by piece. Jobs get weaker while the rich man increase. Don't blame the struggler, don't let your heart drown. See who rigs the system when the wages fall down. In America and Europe, same pressure in disguise. Different flags waving, but the same designer rise. The worker from abroad is not the root of the crime. It's the ones who use the pain and push down every dime. They bring in desperation, then they automate the floor. Then they tell the native worker, you're not needed anymore. Then they tell the migrant worker, be grateful, don't complain. And both sides get squeezed in the very same chain. That is how they run it, divide and underpay. Turn the poor on the poor, so the top can look away. While the landlords keep collecting, while the techlords keep the score. While the value of your labor keeps sinking to the floor. And a man without a purpose is a dangerous thing. Not because he's evil, but because pain has a sting. A people need work, need dignity, need role. You can't strip that from a nation and expect a healthy soul. Wake up, don't just react. Look deeper than the surface facts. If labor lose value when the market gets tight, who is being protected and who loses the right? Wake up and don't be led to blame the hungry for the daily bread. The worker ain't your enemy, that's part of the con. The hand that writes the rules is who the light belongs on. Once before the system shook and men were left behind, and leaders had to face the fire growing in the mind. Work them in the forest, build the roads and the land. Give the people back their purpose, put a tool back in their hand. Because society gets brittle when the people lose their place, and no app can replace the dignity in the face. If the machine saves labor, then the people should gain too. More life, more rest, more share, that's what justice will do. But if the machine saves labor while the people lose bread, then the system serves profit, not the lives being led. So don't let them sell your progress while they hollow out your worth. And don't let them make you think you were a burden on this earth. You are not obsolete, you are not excess stock. You are the beating heart, not a number on a block. And the future worth building is a future people own, where tech serves humanity, not a throne of cold stone. They build it in the background, quiet and slow, while the headlines flash, but the real ones don't show. AI on the table, cheap labor in the flow. Same old game with a new techno glow. Built in the background, piece by piece. Jobs get weaker while the rich man increase. Stand with the people, don't let your spirit drown. Truth starts rising when the people look around. So no, don't panic, and no, don't hate, but do not sleep. Because what is built in the background will rule the foreground. If the people never question it, protect the worker, protect the youth, protect human dignity, never forget. future.